Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good day to you. Welcome to Bayou Sports Talk here down in the Bayou of Louisiana, baby. I'm Kay, your moderator, and we have some great topics. And you guys, we are preparing for that big day that's up before us tomorrow. I know everybody is ready and excited. So let's go ahead and get started and dive into it. So let's start with the youngster of the bunch. Holla at him, Ray.
Oh, good evening, y'all. Hope everything's going well and phenomenal in y'all's lives. To all the viewers and the rest of the people that's on the panel with me. I'm ready for the discussions and the topics, the predictions. The analytics that we're gonna give today with the subjects.
All right, holla at him, coach.
It's me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC, Lions Den Boston community. Shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. Before we even get started, good afternoon to everyone. Hoping all is well with each of you. Hopefully y'all doing well leading up to this 2024 Mardi Gras season. Lundi Gras gonna be Monday, Mardi Gras gonna be Tuesday. So hopefully everyone is safe out there. Hopefully everyone is doing well. But more than anything, we appreciate all the love y'all showing in the comment section. We appreciate everyone that's supporting us. We appreciate everyone that's been rocking with us since day one. We appreciate y'all kind words, y'all continued support. Much love to y'all. This show is dedicated to y'all.
All right, guys, and before we get too far in it, let's shout out to Rue. We're gonna call Rue out. Rue, guys, I think he's scared because the topics has been pulling him, and he's like, So we're gonna call you out, Rue. But guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started, and let's start with some boxing. Guys, I know you love talking about your boxing. So go ahead and start us off, coach.
No, in fact, I'm gonna throw the King Ray on this one. He been doing an excellent job as of late in terms of his analysis across the board. So I won't get his take on, the upcoming the fights that just passed in terms of you know, our friend, well, not friend, but Teofimo Lopez, Keyshawn Davis. We want to see what he thought about the recent Bob Arum top ranked card that just passed.
All right, so kind of prior to this card, I was talking to coach and I was like, man, I think this card is a pretty good card, and he shot that down. He was like, nah, this card not good to me. And I was just saying, as far as like prospect wise, you got three top. Well, not to Fimo Lopez, not a prospect, but as far as Keyshawn Davis and Abdullah, both of them are great prospects.
No. I don't mean to cut you off. I mean, I agree with that aspect of it in terms of them being like great prospects. I think after the other night, I don't think Davis, I don't think he's no longer a prospect. I think he's
Right.
officially a contender. But I was saying from the standpoint of
The competition it was fighting.
yeah, I mean, these aren't the fights I want to see in
Yeah,
terms of like the best fighting the best.
right.
Those two are prospects. Tiafimo, he more of a pretender to me more than anything.
Yeah.
But that was my
bad. I know exactly what you were saying when me and you was texting. I know exactly what you were saying. I probably reiterated it wrong just now.
Yeah.
As far as Abdullah, he got a knockout win, which of course, which is impressive, but of course expected. Keyshawn, he did what I expected him to do. To be honest, after his win, he called out Navarrete.
Yeah, Navarrete, yeah.
Not Navarrete. I'll be messing up the name.
Yeah.
And he called out Tefimo. I don't think he'll win a fight with Tio, but I do that Navarrete fight. That's a fight I do want to see because I also been watching him as well. They both got similar fight styles to me. And what I mean by similar is Keyshawn, he got a lot of speedy and he's elusive, but he don't got real knockout power, if you know what I mean. He's not the type of guy that he'll hit you and put your lights out. And Navarrete, he's the same way to me too. He could throw punches and bunches, but he's not the most, powerful knockout, boxer and stuff like that. But I feel like that'll be a very good, high quality fight. And I feel like that's definitely, the fight for Keyshawn next. As far as Abdullah, just continuing to let him build himself, build his confidence, get his name up and stuff like that, and just continue to grow in the sport of boxing and stuff like that. But as far as Tefimo, that fight bored me, like for real. He has had way more exciting fights than that in the past, but it's almost like him and Shakur was like their last two fights was kind of similar. Except Tefimo, he wasn't really running. It's just the output, it wasn't. And I know as a boxer, you kind of want to go out there and entertain. And if you would have watched his walkout, that was his whole theme, like the greatest entertainer. But like he that fight didn't live up to the greatest entertainer. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying as a fighter you just supposed to run out there and go wild and just get yourself knocked out. But at least put on the show, bro. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't too impressed with this fight. I mean, he did win it. He won it by unanimous decision, but it should have been more like a split decision because honestly, at the end of the day, I felt like that fight could have went either way. That fight could have truly went either way. But of course, they gave him the unanimous decision. He continues to build up his hype and stuff like that. But man, Tefimo, and he has fought big names in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me twisted. It's not like he has never fought like other top fighters. But he needs to continue, to stay fighting on a level that we expect him to fight on. But yeah, I mean that's as far as my takeaway from the fight. But as far as Keyshawn, they got to continue to build up, more technical aspects and resonance about themselves and Abdullah. But like that fight that Keyshawn just had, that was his next step. Like he just went to the next level. So we should expect much more and much better out of him in his next fight, especially since he's going to be fighting a greater competitor. But that's just my input and my analysis from those fights.
Well, in terms of my take, first and foremost, you're right. I think Abdullah had an impressive performance. But moving on to Keyshawn Davis, I agree with you. Keyshawn Davis had an impressive performance. I mean, in all actuality, the only people that beat Pedraza were championship caliber fighters. So if you weren't like like the best amongst the best fighters in your division, or considered to be the best fighters, you weren't gonna beat him. And prior to Keyshawn Davis, the only person that knocked him out was Tank. So I think that's very impressive. I think we're at a point in terms of Keyshawn Davis where Keyshawn Davis he's no longer a prospect. I think he's officially a contender now. And I think you're right. Navarrete, he getting ready to fight for the WBO, the vacant WBO title since since Devin Haney has moved up to 140 and he's the champion at 140 now. Navarrete gonna fight for the vacant WBO title. More than likely he's gonna win. So I think that's a big fight down the line. Probably the next couple fights for Keyshawn Davis. So I'm looking forward to Navarrete and Keyshawn Davis. Now, whether Shakur Stevenson is going to remain retired is going to be interesting. I don't know, him and Keyshawn Davis, they friends. Then he didn't like something and so on and so forth. So whether they still friends or not, that's another thing. And then in addition to that, I think the big thing is the fact that they both fight at 135. They both fight for Bob Arum on Top Rank. Like, those are two interesting dynamics. So honestly, I think the whole situation with Shakur, I think it's more of a fake retirement more than anything. You know, I think he's just looking for attention. But it's going to be interesting to see how Bob Arum handles the situation if Shakur comes back and he continues fighting. You got Shakur at 135. You got Keyshawn Davis at 135. They're friends and they both top ranked fighters. You know, is that going to eventually lead to a showdown between those two? Of course, it's not ready at this point. I think he would need to build it up further down the line. But, you know, would he want to keep those two away from each other, or would he eventually want a fight between them? You know, remains to be seen. Now, in terms of Teofimo Lopez, truthfully speaking, Jermaine Ortiz won that fight. Jermaine Ortiz got robbed, in my estimation. I think this robbery was more. I ain't gonna say it was more, but I'll say it was just as flagrant as, to me, it was just as flagrant as the whole Josh Taylor robbery. I felt like to me it was a robbery. I know a lot of people saying that, all Jermaine Ortiz did was run, whoop-de-woo, whatever. But it's boxing. Now, the ironic thing about it is some of these same people that's saying that Teofimo Lopez, he won, he was the champion, Jermaine Ortiz ran too much, so on and so forth. Like, it's not a street fight. It's the sport of boxing. It's the sweet science. In terms of ring generalship, Jermaine Ortiz, he did a much better job than Teo. Teo, his footwork was trash. He did a terrible job cutting the ring off. It's like, man, he just, as a fighter, I mean, I'm a boxing fan, and I'm like, bro, you can't cut the ring off? So Teo, he could not cut the ring off. And, to me, I think at best it was a 116-112 win in favor of Jermaine Ortiz. That's probably being one round, maybe too generous. I'll probably say it's 117-111. And for those individuals that don't know, either 8 rounds to 4 or 9 rounds to 3 in favor of Jermaine Ortiz. I felt like the only rounds Teo won was the rounds where, Jermaine Ortiz, maybe he did a little bit too much moving around and he didn't engage enough. But other than that, to me, it was a clear-cut win for Jermaine Ortiz. But I think the fact that, we have boxing politics again. Again, it came down to boxing politics where, where Teo is the bigger star, or projected to be the bigger star. So as a result, Jermaine Ortiz, he's not in top ranks, like plans for, being a star of the future. And as a result, Teo got another gift decision. To me, it's the second one that he got, So, I mean, like I said, I think this robbery is on par with Jack Catterall getting robbed in the Josh Taylor situation. To me, I think is equivalent to that. I think, in that instance, Jack Catterall clearly beat Josh Taylor. In this instance, I think Jermaine Ortiz clearly beat Teofimo Lopez. Like I said, I think the biggest irony of this entire situation, I think too many fans let the commentary of people like Tim Bradley sway what they think. And it was shocking that even Tim Bradley said that he felt Jermaine Ortiz won, considering, he was a top-ranked fighter. He fought for Bob Arum. And, in terms of commentary, he's typically and usually biased. But I think he was honest from the standpoint that, yeah, we all know that Jermaine Ortiz actually won this fight. I'm talking about the true boxing fans. But for those people that saying Jermaine Ortiz, the fact that he was the challenger, that he didn't do enough, he didn't step to Teo enough, to me that's ironic, because some of these same things saying that that Devin Haney, he didn't box enough against our friend, High Tech, Mr. High Tech, Vasily High Tech Lomachenko. And the irony is some of these same things saying that basically Jermaine Ortiz didn't do enough to take Teo's title. I think it's ridiculous. I think Jermaine Ortiz was robbed. I think he clearly beat Teo Lopez. And more than anything, just to kind of conclude this whole thing with, Teo and Jermaine Ortiz, I'm going to just kind of be truthful. I know he says a lot of outlandish and ridiculous things, I think Teofimo Lopez, he really has mental health. He really has mental health issues. Like so he kind of reminds me a lot of maybe a boxing version of Kanye West. I heard, them talking about this on 7-8 channel. Basically, when Cadillac Red and 7-8 Sports TV, when he was talking on his show yesterday morning. I mean, that was one of the truest things I heard. Like, man, I'm not gonna lie, this dude Teo Lopez. First of all, he knew he lost the fight, but for him to be praising God and cursing people out literally in the same breath, it's kind of ridiculous to me. But I think it's he really needs some mental help. He needs mental help. He has mental health issues. He lost the fight. He just didn't want to acknowledge it, but he knew he lost. I think that's why he acted the way he acted.
Okay,
I
guys.
do, I do want quickly jump in about what you were saying with Keyshawn and Shakur, them being friends. And I feel like that's something that's a part of sports too, which I kind of don't like. And even growing up in high school, you will have friends that play for a different school that you gotta play against, and it would be more exciting. And I don't know why, fighters would be scared to fight each other just because that person is your friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
something
yeah,
that's kind of
yeah,
hindering towards the sport as well. Like, so what if your friend like I'm pretty sure friends in the fight game, like whenever boxers are friends, they spar with each other all the time. When you
yeah,
get in with this person, it's that next level up from sparring. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it should be such an honor to step in the ring with your friend. And the way a lot of these boxers are, like for Bud Crawford, for example, he felt disrespected by Errol Spence. So therefore he don't want to fight Errol Spence because he felt disrespected. But if somebody is your friend, that means you got respect for your friend. So it sounds the way it sounds like they want to hop in a box ring with their friends because they want their competition to respect them. When it's time to fight your friend, it's like you don't want to fight them. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's like I was just thinking about that, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You make a lot of sense, but I think in this context, I don't think it's so much the fact that they're friends that would negate them from fighting. I think it's the fact that Bob Arum, he's made an investment in both of these fighters, and I think he wants to fight to build up to a certain point where he can maybe make it a mega fight. But at this point, it's not a mega fight. And the way the sport of boxing is, I was telling you this behind the scenes about, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Manny Pacquiao. I think that particular fight is set a bad precedent from the standpoint of they milked that fight for so long. Basically, when the two of them actually fought, both of them were past their prime. And as a result, that fight was past its expiration date. So I think it's to the point now, I think promoters want milk fights for too long instead of while these guys are young and at the peak of their like both their youth and being able to take punishment and even take a loss and recover quickly and get back out there in the spotlight and in the ring. More than anything, I think they want a fight to build and build and build and build. And too often, either we don't get the fight because one of the two fighters lose, or both of those fighters lose, like in the instance of Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, or we have an instance where, in other instances where those two fighters lose or they never fight each other at all. So more than anything, I think that's what it is. More than anything, would Bob Arum really want to put Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson in the ring with each other, like maybe even a year? Let's just give it a year. I don't think he would want to do that because he has a investment in both fighters. And to Adrian Crook's point, me and you talked about this behind the scenes too. Uh, Ryan Garcia, he getting ready to challenge Devin Haney for the WBC 140-pound title on April the 20th. It's a big fight that we're looking forward to. And, one thing, I just kind of want to point out is the fact that Tank Davis, he kind of made a comment because, in the build up to this upcoming fight, Ryan Garcia pushed Devin Haney and they had a little bit of a skirmish, but it really didn't lead to anything.
I feel like that was scripted.
No, and he was saying the same thing, like this is WWE, this is scripted, blah 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 blah. Tank is, in my opinion, I think he's a highly talented fighter. And I think, when it comes to some of these fighters, I think Tank is the perfect example. I think his fan base and his fanboys, basically, they love him so much as a fighter, they can't differentiate somebody being a talented fighter in the ring and them moving funny outside the ring. And I think the issue with too many Tank Davis fans and Shakur Stevenson fans, they can't separate the talent in the ring as opposed to them moving funny out the ring. Because even when Floyd was an active fighter, as a talent, I liked Floyd Mayweather Jr. In terms of out of the ring, I felt like he was a low character individual that I wouldn't want to be friends with in real life. And I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I'm just telling you like it is from my perspective. And truthfully speaking, I think in the ring, Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis are excellent fighters. I don't like how neither one of them move outside the ring. And for Tank to be critical of the way Shakur, I'm sorry, not Shakur, the way Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, like they have this scripted thing. Like, dude, your whole career is scripted. You never fought the best fighter in any one weight class you'd have been in. Was it 126, was it 130, 135? Dude, you never fought Tevin Farmer. You never fought Mr. Gary Russell Jr. You never fought Tio. You never fought you never fought Vasil High-Tech Lomachenko. At this point right now, if I had to put money on it, if Loma and Tank fought, I would put my money on Tank. And for Tank not to move like you that guy, dude, you're not in a position to say this is WWE. Your whole career is WWE. Now, don't get me wrong. He's highly talented. He got knockout real knockouts. But at the same token, bro, like, you should shut up. You're not in a position to say anything. You never fought the best fighter in no weight class you've been in. You still use this Bob Arum top rank. We don't fight black fighters philosophy that Floyd Mayweather Jr. he adopted when he started fighting on Top Rank. Not so much in the Money Mayweather phase of it. I mean, the Floyd Mayweather, the pretty boy Floyd phase of his career, early in his career, but the later half of his career, instead of him fighting fighters like Paul the Punisher Williams, he would fight a fighter like Marcos Maidana. So basically, Tank has adopted that same philosophy. He don't want to fight the best possible competition. He just kind of want to make money. And for you to be critical of Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, like, dude, you should shut up. And really, truthfully speaking, I kind of feel like Devin Haney getting a better version of Ryan Garcia, because at least Ryan Garcia is going to be able to fight in his actual weight class, which is 140. He's going to be able to fully rehydrate, whereas you got a weight drain version of Ryan. So, man, shut up, bro. So you're not in a position to say that.
And also, I want to address what Adrian was talking about in the comments. He about Ryan Garcia's house getting broken into. I seen some camera footage, so I think it is legit that his house got broken into. I don't know if Devin Haney sent them goons to break into his house or not, or it's just a coincidence. But yeah, his house did get broken into.
Man, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. A lot of people saying that Devin Haney won't act hood, this, that, and the third. Devin Haney, I know at certain points Tank like, hey, I'm from the streets, I'm this and this and that. And like 7-8 says all the time, bro, like you a boxer. Just be a boxer. Just because you from the hood, they don't make you a street dude, you know what I'm saying? But Devin Haney ain't moving like that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know his dad.
I was joking.
No. I'm just saying it's not because of you. This because of all these Devin Haney haters, these Bill Haney haters, anything Bill Haney, anything native of Bill Haney, they kind of co-sign. But more than anything, man, the Haneys are not on that type of time. Bill, he had a past, but he's he's a changed person. He's a real nice guy. Met him in person at the meet and greet. Not this year, but last year. He's a class guy. So, much respect to the Haney family. And just to kind of throw it to the people in the chat before we move on, Kate. First, starting at the top, motivation to be a millionaire. He said, "Salute, coach. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to today's show." Relax and calm reign. Salute, coach. Let's go. Greatness in the making. And of course, we appreciate everybody's, kind words, everybody's continued support. Daddy, daughter time. Salute, Coach 67, Crown King of Sports Talk, and King Ray. Hopefully, Kid and Rude Dog will make an appearance, but I don't know if they are still on the show. I'm ready for the show. And of course, K is here. Rude Dog isn't. So, yes, we got a K appearance today. Adrian Crook, Davis, hands extra heavy for his class. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think he has good pop for the 135-pound class. Adrian Crook said, I got Haney retiring Ryan. Yeah, I think definitely Devin Haney, he definitely going to beat Ryan. Whether he retired or not, I mean, Ryan made a lot of good money fighting Tank. So I think if he get a big enough payday, who knows what he's gonna do after that. Adrian Cook also say the main objective in boxing is to hit and not get hit. That's an excellent point, Adrian Cook. I was trying to point this out to some of these fans that said Jermaine Ortiz, he didn't win that fight. I mean, he fought an excellent fight. That was his whole strategy, to hit T.O. and not get hit. So that's an excellent point. Jermaine Ortiz got robbed. He won that fight. That's how Bradley fought. Man, he did. And I'm gonna be truthful. Many individuals say that Manny got robbed, but I mean, some of these same people, now they saying, hey, that T.O. won. So come on, man, y'all can't have y'all cake and eat it too. Like, if you buy it, just say you buy it. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Adrian Crook said facts. Adrian Crook also said, my cousin played for other teams, and I love flipping. Flipping is behind on the field. And I was looking to hurt him. So, he's saying the same thing you said, Raymond. Basically, I don't care if you family, I don't care if you friend. If it's time to get at it on a ring, on the football field, whatever, like, we ready to compete, you know what I'm saying? So that's an excellent point by him. He said Ryan House just got broken to. Yep, you brought up that. And Adrian Cook said again, hell, I don't even believe those reports. Ryan needs to show a police report. So yeah, and like Raymond say all the time, a lot of these fighters, they look to clout chase nowadays. So ain't no telling, he might have staged that just for the attention. You know what I'm saying? And of course, salute to my brother Jared O'Lovin Green. He said salute family. Adrian Crook, he was saying facts. I'm getting tired of Ryan, and basically, he kind of saying the same thing you saying, Raymond. And lastly, brother Jared Loving Green, he said everyone thought Haney didn't have no power, but once he stopped weight draining, he showed power against Regis. And that's an excellent point, bro. I mean, once he moved up in weight, he showed that he had power. But the fact that he was constantly draining himself to make 135, now that he's not weight draining and he's up to 140, he showed that he has more power. And I think that's going to be the thing with Ryan. I think that's going to make Ryan more dangerous than the version of Ryan that Tank fought, because he was weight drained in that particular fight. But back to UK.
Okay, guys. Well, let's move on to the top our next topic at hand with the NBA. It's so much been going on. People have been moving from one team to the next, but we're gonna go ahead and let Coach start us off with that. Go ahead and lead us, Coach.
Well, first, in terms of like the NBA trade deadline, usually, at the NBA trade deadline, you want to see some big names moving. But for the most part, it was not a whole lot of star power in this year's NBA trade deadline. Basically, we got Buddy Hield. He went from the Pacers to the Philadelphia 76ers. I think that was a good move for them. And they have to give up a whole lot to get him. So I think that was a good look for the 76ers. Then in addition to that, the Milwaukee Bucks was able to get Pat Bev. I think that was a decent move for them. But I think at the end of the day, I'm glad the Pelicans, they were interested in making a trade for DeJounte Murray, they want to pair up CJ McCollum and DeJounte Murray in the backcourt together. But to potentially make that make that deal go through, they were going to potentially have to send Herb Jones to Atlanta, which to me, I think in any trade talks they're having right now, I think Herb Jones should 100% be off the table. But more than anything, I think, those couple teams, they made some decent moves. But at the end of the day, there was nothing real, real groundbreaking in terms of this, NBA trade deadline. There was no big splash trades. I think the Knicks made a good little trade to kind of improve their team. But more than anything, I think, it was a quiet NBA trade deadline. Just some small moves, but nothing major. Like, Porzingis getting moved in the off season, like Damian Lillard getting moved in the off season. Those were like big splash trades. Even CP3 going to the Warriors after, getting sent to the Wizards, and then the Wizards getting with the boy that got punched out by Draymond.
Jordan Poole.
Yeah, Jordan Poole. So, those were like big moves. Whereas in terms of this year's NBA trade deadline, it was just like little minor moves. Nothing really major happened. But before I throw to Raymond, Jay Barr, say salute family in chat. Salute to the brother Jay Barr. Salute to you, bro. To you, Raymond. What are your thoughts on the NBA trade deadline?
Yeah, like you were saying, like some big names got thrown around. Like, Buddy Hield going to Philly was, a pretty good trade for Philly. But do I think that trade will make like a drastic difference? No, not really. You know,
Pat Bev went to the Bucks.
Gordon Hayward going to the OKC. Yeah, Pat Bev is now on the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So that Pat Bev being on your team will of course bring up your defense. But as far as the New Orleans Pelicans, of course, man, when I heard them talking about trading to get
DeJounte Murray,
it's like I be want to say Javante, but it's
yeah.
To get Murray, I'm like, oh yeah, definitely. Like, why wouldn't we want him? Like, that would drastically bring the offense of our team up. But since our team is so deep, we're gonna have to trade somebody, one of those bench players that we love. It's like, this team deep when we got bench players that we really want to keep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't trade Trey Murphy. I wouldn't trade like a lot of those guys. One guy that I did think that they probably should have traded was Valanciunas, and I kind of miss Jackson Hayes because he was more that more athletic big guy, and I always wanted him to get more playing time with the Pelicans, but he never did. Valanciunas, he got a decent little jump shot, but it's like he just doesn't bring that athleticism to the center position. Like, even if you watch him when he shoot the ball, he don't jump when he shoot. He just stands on his tippy toes. Like, even when he goes to grab rebounds, he don't jump to get a rebound. He just kind of like stands on his tippy toes. So, but like, watching Jackson Hayes play last night, like, you could tell he was way more athletic than Jonas Valanciunas and even Aaron Hernandez. But yeah, I just wish the Pelicans would get like a more athletic type of big to go with Zion. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not tripping we didn't trade for anybody. I like the team that we have now. This team is more than capable of getting things done and making a run in the playoffs. Like Stephen A. Smith always say, if Zion stays healthy, the Pelicans could definitely get to the conference finals and possibly the NBA finals. Even when Stephen A. Smith said that, I thought he was kind of going, like, I even have that much faith in the Pelicans, but every time Stephen A. Smith talks about Zion and a lot of other people, they're very big on Zion. So, if other people could see it, of course, I'm pretty sure I could see it too. So yeah, I'm pretty fine with the team that we got now. And, even watching the game last night, even though they lost, Zion is starting to play with a little bit more aggression, which is, a major plus. So the commentators was also talking about how Zion and B.I. is one of the best duos in the league. They're not the best duo in the league. That's obviously the Joker and Murray. But, they're arguably, and, you got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. You got a lot of duos. You got Dame Lillard with the Greek Freak now, but B.I. and Zion could definitely, be like, they definitely are one of those top duos in the league, but they gotta take that next step. They gotta take that. They gotta have a night where Bi and Zion both drop 40. Was just them two like just going right at it. And once Bi and Zion get to that level where both of them could drop 40, I feel like that's when they're ready to be like a championship team. Because when you look at Murray and the Joker, both of them could drop 40 together on any given night. When you look at Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum, both of them could drop 40 together on any given night. James Harden and Embiid both could drop 40 together on any given night.
Well, Harden and Embiid are no longer together.
Oh,
Harden is Harden played for the Clippers now
I
with
don't. I just seen red and blue in my
yeah
mind when I was saying it.
yeah.
I was about to go on and say Dame Lillard and the Greek Freak could both drop 40 together on any given
No,
night. But
that's
y'all
true
know what
too.
I
That's
mean.
true. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I agree with most of what you're saying, but I wouldn't mind getting DeJounte Murray, but if I had to give up Herb Jones to get him, I wouldn't have
I'm
been
agreeing.
I wouldn't have been in favor of that. But the crazy thing about it is, based on what Herb Jones was making, the way the NBA is set up, when you make a trade, like it's dollar for dollar, it has to be within a certain dollar range. To get DeJounte Murray, they was gonna have to give up Herb Jones and then maybe a couple other young players, or maybe Herb Jones and another player. So just imagine if you had to give up Dyson Daniels and Herb Jones to get DeJounte Murray. Like, nah, I wouldn't have been in favor of that trade. So I think more than anything, I think you right. I'm cool with the team, the way it is, but I kind of disagree with you on a Jackson Hayes aspect of it. I think Jackson Hayes is more athletic. I think the issue with Jackson Hayes is he's not as skilled as Jones. I mean, Valanciunas is a skilled big. He can shoot. He can post up. He's not as athletic. If he had Jackson Hayes' athleticism, yeah, he'll probably be one of the best bigs in the league. But I mean, he's a good rebounder. He's skilled. He could shoot. He's a good post game. Uh, and the crazy thing about it, even we talk about Jackson Hayes, but Jackson Hayes doesn't get a whole lot of run for the Lakers. In fact, realistically, in terms of his salary, I mean, he only makes like $2 million a year. So
That's true. That's true.
yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, I think if he would have been, as valuable as because you and I were both high on him, but if he was as valuable as we thought he was, when he hit the open market, more teams would have been clamoring for him. And the fact that he got like a small deal from the Lakers, they really kind of showed you what his open market value really was. But before we swing back to you, Ray and King Ray and Kay, salute to the brother Jay Good, salute. And before we continue our topic, we're gonna throw back to the previous topic. Jay Good was giving his thoughts on X, which formerly known as Twitter, about Telefimo Hopez, and basically he was like, "Look, you played for a blue tick, you fake Rick Ross lookalike," and I'm like, "Hey, bro, put some respect on a brother Jay Good name." But that's all I kind of want to throw it out there. Go to show you how sensitive Telefimo Hopez is. He called Jay Good.
Wait, hold on, wait. So on Twitter, Tefimo actually responded back to him.
Yeah. Hey, Jay Good basically said, "Hey, Jermaine Ortiz won, and he like a female. Of course, Jay Good got the verified blue check
Yeah.
on his profile, and he was like, basically, look at this like fake Rick Ross." And I'm like, "Man, go sit down, bro. You abroad, man. Jay Good was keeping it real,
Hey,
but
bro.
he didn't want to hear the fact that that he actually lost the fight. So he basically he said Jay Good is a fake Rick Ross with a blue tick."
Man, a lot of athletes be sensitive like that. I remember I had TJ Gardner Johnson reply to me one time on Twitter too. That's when they played the Vikings. The Saints had played the Vikings once,
Uh-huh.
and they was talking about Justin Jefferson and stuff. And I had, cause he'd be running his mouth too. And I kind of quoted, I was like, "Hey, Justin Jefferson, the Louisiana boy, not too much on him." And he replied back and said something, and I was like, "Oh man, you won't respond to me and stuff like that, bro." Like, so yeah, man, all them athletes be they. Why even get on Twitter, bro? Like, why? You already know you're gonna see something that's gonna hurt your feelings. I don't even know why to get on there and respond to people, man.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, but any other like closing thoughts on what we talked about the Pelicans and everything, Ryan? All right, back to you.
All right, guys. Well, y'all did do y'all open discussion because y'all kind of had a rant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But is there anything else that y'all wanted to um capture in this time before we move on to our next topic? Because we know this is Mardi Gras, as Coach said, and we want everybody to be safe. We know this is not a nation holiday, this is a Southern Louisiana holiday. So, for those that are going out and celebrate, please be safe. And for those who are doing a Super Bowl party, please be safe as well. Down here, we probably do some ball food and some barbecue and whatever else we could get there. We will do it, right, guys?
Yeah, yeah. And
Uh,
and before we throw to uh Raymond's open topic, I kind of want to shout out, of course, shout out my brother Jared 11 Green. You know, we're gonna have a special Super Bowl edition of the Southern Baller Show tonight on his channel at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. But I want my open topic is, you know, our co-host, brother Brent Fox. He talked about, you know, the NFL awards, and he was saying that uh the fact that Dan Campbell and D'Amico Ryan did not win Coach of the Year is ridiculous to me. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I mean, to me, that's my open topic. I feel like D'Amico Ryan should have been the Coach of the Year, but if not him, then Dan Campbell.
right.
But man, I don't know, brother.
Who won Coach of the Year? Because I don't even be paying attention.
He said it. I can't remember, but all I could think of is, to me, the only two candidates that I could think of this year was D'Amico Ryan and Dan Campbell. I
Right.
don't remember who won it. Maybe Kid could look it up for us real quick. But they did the awards, and of course, you know, I'm not gonna lie, he did an excellent job because he didn't do it all in one video. He did
Yes.
it in like multiple shorts, and he was saying the fact that T.J. Watt didn't win Defensive Player of the Year, and the fact that Myles Garrett won it. Basically, he just talked
So,
about
Coach, excuse me,
uh-huh.
but Kevin
Yeah,
Stefanski,
Kevin Stefanski won, Rand.
he won it for the Coach of the Year.
Yeah,
Who,
so
who he coach?
huh?
Who he coach?
I
He
can't remember.
he coaches for the
Vikings?
Browns.
Browns?
Yes.
I,
Yes,
I, I don't know why he was Coach of the Year.
The
for real.
Cleveland
I'm not.
Browns.
I really don't even know his name. That would say that.
and and the fact, I'm not gonna lie, Brent Fox. You know, shout out to the brother Brent Fox. I don't know if you're gonna be on the Southern Baller Show with us tonight, but that was an excellent point. You know, y'all got to go check it out his channel. And the way he set it up, instead of doing it in long video format like he normally does, you know, it's just me. He broke them down in the shorts, and he talked about Stefanski winning Coach of the Year over D'Amico Ryans and Dan Campbell, and he talked about Myles Garrett winning Defensive Player of the Year over T.J. Watt, and basically, you know, he did an excellent job, and that's kind of what I want to point out. I felt like D'Amico Ryan and Dan Campbell should have been like Coach of the Year. You know, to me, that was my open topic discussion. I felt like he brought up some excellent points on in those shorts that he dropped on his channel. So that's my open discussion topic.
Ray,
All right, for me, I know this was something that I was talking about with Coach earlier as well. But Patrick Mahomes, like, do anybody believe that Patrick Mahomes could catch up with Tom Brady? Me personally, I definitely think that he can and he will catch up with Tom Brady. Especially, I got him winning tomorrow. Especially if he get his third tomorrow, like. Come on, bro. It's Tom. I don't think Tom Brady got 3 Super Bowls this early in his career. But I said that a while back. I said I want Patrick Mahomes to be that guy that takes everything, that breaks all the records, that wins a lot of Super Bowls. So I want him to take, even though it's Peyton Manning's record, I still consider it Drew Brees' record in my heart for the
Me too.
single season passing yards. The
Me
crazy
too.
thing is Peyton Manning got the record by 1 yard. Like, are you serious, bro? But yeah, I got Patrick Mahomes. We know that Patrick Mahomes is very capable of taking all those records, but I don't know. I just rather see Patrick Mahomes, just take. And I feel like he could definitely catch up with Tom Brady, furthermore, surpass Tom Brady. So drop in the comments, drop in the chats if y'all agree or y'all don't agree. If Patrick Mahomes could catch up with Tom Brady and stuff like that and whatnot. But I got a strange theory too. Well, not a theory, but this is something that I want to happen. I know me and you both agree, Coach, that we want Eric Bieniemy to be the head coach of the Saints.
Yeah.
And that's something I forgot who I was listening to, but they were saying I was in the barber shop the other day, and I think I was listening to Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco, and it was talking about how weird it is that Eric Bieniemy doesn't have a head coaching job.
In fact, he got fired from the Washington Commanders.
Right, he got fired, and they were saying how he has that old school type of coach's mentality, unlike a lot of these new younger coaches. Like he's the type of coach that he'll call you on your stuff. Like no matter who you are, like when you're wrong, you're wrong. But with that being said, I really want Eric Bieniemy to be the head coach of the Saints, and I feel like if Eric Bieniemy could be the head coach of the Saints, somehow that could get Patrick Mahomes to be the quarterback for the Saints. I know it's a stretch. That's why I call it a theory. But in my mind, I would like for that to happen.
Well, first to address the fact that you said that you think Pat Mahomes going to pass Tom Brady. Honestly, I believe it. He can. Hopefully he will. And I know many people consider Tom Brady to be the GOAT. But from a talent standpoint, I think Patrick Mahomes is a more talented quarterback. Hands down in terms of, I think he has better arm strength. I think he's a better athlete in terms of him being able to scramble and move around and run and all that. He's light years ahead of Tom Brady in that regard. So I think from a talent standpoint, I think he has Brady beat. Yeah. I think the only thing that really could really stop him or slow him down to keep him from surpassing him is the fact that maybe down the line, we don't know what issues he may run into in terms of injuries, right, anything like that. Maybe from a salary cap standpoint, maybe they might not be able to have the players to really surround him like he has now. To me, I think that'll be the only thing that would hinder him. That's to your first point. And to the second point, in terms of them potentially getting him in New Orleans, I'm going to be honest with you. I would love to get him in New Orleans. I would give up 5 first-round picks if I could get Pat Mahomes to the Saints. But let's be realistic. The era that we live in with franchise quarterbacks, there's no effing way the Kansas City Chiefs going to let him out of Kansas City and let him somehow get to New Orleans. I think the only way that'll happen is if kind of like some of the quarterbacks over the years, like maybe like a Jim Everett, like some of these quarterbacks in the twilight of their career in their dying days, like Ken Stabler, like some of these washed up, faded quarterbacks, they end up in New Orleans. I think that's the only way we get Pat Mahomes in New Orleans. There's no way a prime Pat Mahomes is going to end up in playing for the New Orleans Saints.
It's almost like Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, huh?
Yeah. That type of thing. You right 100%. So anything else you want to add in terms of your open topic, Raymond?
Well, us talking about Tom Brady, I kind of want to go on this rant. Me personally, I always felt like Drew Brees was a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
I agree with you, me.
He may not be a better competitor in a sense because people are like Tom Brady is just this over the edge competitor like Michael Jordan was. But as far as like just skill set, Drew Brees was more accurate. Drew Brees statistically always outperformed Tom Brady. He always did. But the thing is like Drew Brees never had a defense. Tom Brady always did. And like even thinking about the 2011 playoffs when we lost to the 49ers, bro, if the Saints would have beat the 49ers, the Saints would have went to the Super Bowl because the Saints would have ended up playing the Giants. And they
beat the Giants that year.
Yeah, we beat the Giants. And I remember watching something the Giants said, man, if we would have played the Saints in the playoffs, we would have lost again. And the Saints would have went to the Super Bowl, and I'm pretty sure we would have beat Tom Brady. And then the Saints should have also went to the Super Bowl in 2018. So that means
Rams,
huh?
That was the Rams school.
Yeah, the no call.
Yeah.
So if we would have won that game, we would have went to the Super Bowl and played Tom Brady in New England again as well. And I'm pretty sure we definitely would have beat them that year. So I feel like Drew Brees should have 3 Super Bowl rings. he already 1-0 against Peyton Manning, and he should be 2-0 against Tom Brady, and that would give Tom Brady one less ring. And that just bumped Drew Brees up in the GOAT debate topic. But still, without him having those things, I just always felt like Drew Brees was a better quarterback. He just never had the defense. And when he finally got the defense, he had the noodle on him. So
Yeah. He was in the twilight of his career also, and that's an excellent point you bring up, Raymond. I'm gonna be truthful. I used to hate when he used to have those debates at the time. We talking about when the three of them was in the NFL, and they were kind of like the elite quarterbacks in the NFL. It was always the discussion of, Brady won, Manning or vice versa, and Drew
now they
Brees.
put Aaron Rodgers above Drew Brees. They will always leave Drew out. It would be
No. Well, I mean, this one particular discussion I heard, they did talk about Aaron Rodgers, but in terms of the numbers and everything they was putting up at the time, like Drew Brees always was like the third wheel when it came to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady discussion. So you right, I felt like Drew Brees in that era, he really didn't get his just due. And the thing about it is, I think if he'd have had the kind of infrastructure around him at the time that Brady had, I think he would have had more success. Like you said, the defense that he had in some of those years. I mean, even if you look at the year they won the Super Bowl, the thing that made the defense so good was the fact that you had Darren Sharp on the back end getting so many takeaways, and then you had, Bobby, Bobby McCray, and you had Will Smith that was getting a lot of sacks, and Darren Sharp making a lot of plays on the back end. And then, like you said, even Jabari Greer and Tracy Porter and Blue Gay, like in terms of those three DBs, that was like career years for them in terms of that's probably the best single year each one of their respective careers as a defensive back. So right. I think everything came together. But even from a running game standpoint, like the Saints couldn't stop a nosebleed from a running standpoint. That's why, like when they was playing against, I remember they played against that year. They played against the Dolphins. I think if the Dolphins would have stuck with the run game, I think the Saints would have won that game. Even when they played against the Patriots in the Dome for Monday Night Football against Brady, I think had Brady and them stuck with the run, they would have won that game. And they figured, well, hey, Mike McKenzie, he came in off the street. He came back and we got him playing Randy Moss. Randy Moss gonna get off. But the fact that Greg Williams was so good defensively in terms of all these blitz schemes and playing fireman and all these different exotic blitzes and exotic concept, like coverage concepts, that 1 year he was kind of like ahead of the game. But like the next year, like offense is kind of caught up to his blitz packages and his blitz schemes and everything. But you're right, like Breeze really didn't have the kind of weapons around him in terms of the opposite side of the ball that Brady did in Brady heyday years, But before we throw the K, the brother Jared 11 Green, he said the truth hurts. Hope has is corny. And he said the same thing that K said, y'all be safe out there for Mardi Gras. And like Jay Barr was saying, Kevin Stefanski. But back to UK.
Okay, guys, let's talk about Chip Kelly. Can you start us off, Ray?
Yeah, sure. Chip Kelly is now he leaves UCLA for Ohio State to be their offensive coordinator. I was listening to your boy who Coach, what's his name that's on after further review? The ball head.
Oh, I can't think of his name, but he always talk about the Saints. I can't think his name. But I ain't gonna lie, I like EFR. EFR, a good little show, good little podcast,
Right. I was watching him because he covered LSU and like he covered all the sports pretty much.
Yeah, he covered the Saints and he covered the LSU Tigers. Yeah.
And he was basically talking how this is like a big relief for LSU because like LSU has to play UCLA coming up, so at least LSU don't have to worry about Chip Kelly just yet, since the playoff is expanding. And I feel like LSU is like one of those favorable schools, because LSU really been turning up in recruiting, but I feel like LSU might have to. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to see Ohio State somewhere in the playoffs. But this is an increase for Ohio State. You getting Chip Kelly. Of course, we all know, the type of how good of an offensive coordinator he is. So this is gonna make Ohio State better. And of course, I'm pretty sure, it's gonna help Ohio State with their recruiting. Chip Kelly, your offensive coordinator, of course you're gonna want to play in his offense and stuff like that. So I mean that's all I have to say, about Chip Kelly leaving UCLA, but you know.
Excuse me, Ray, are you talking about Rodriguez? The after action review?
No,
That's
after further review, it's a
oh well,
YouTube podcast.
okay. All right.
Well, and like he said, they cover all the local sports. They cover the New Orleans Saints and the LSU Tigers in terms of football.
And also, wait, I just realized this too. Chip Kelly was the head coach at UCLA.
Yeah,
He did an offensive coordinator job at Ohio State.
Yeah, I just was getting ready to say that, Raymond. You kind of took the words out of my mouth.
It really didn't dawn on me at first. So he basically took a demotion to go to a bigger name school.
Yeah, basically. It kind of, I talked about this on my brother's show, the Southern Baller Show, where he's the host. I'm one of his co-hosts. We talked about Willie Simmons leaving FAMU. At FAMU, he was the head coach. He had, in terms of recruiting, he had the best recruiting class in all of HBCU football at the time. And they projected him to win another SWAC championship. And in addition to winning another SWAC championship, basically they projected him to potentially build a dynasty at FAMU. But he left all of that to take a demotion. He went from being a head coach at FAMU to being the running backs coach at Duke. Now, of course, he stepped down in terms of position, but he got like $100,000 to $150,000 pay increase. So he did get more money, but he took a lesser position. And I think it's the same thing with Chip Kelly. From what I'm understanding, I don't know, maybe Kay could look it up for us real quick, but I think
Excuse me, while you're saying that, his name is Matt Moscowny. He is from Louisiana, like you guys said. And yeah.
Well, he does AFR, but in terms of Chip Kelly was the head football coach at UCLA. I think he might be getting paid a little bit more money to be the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. Now, I'm just telling you from my personal experience. This year, I was a assistant coach. Last year, I was the head coach. And just my personal experience, especially if I'm at a like Willie Simmons situation where you won a championship. Now, I know he left in hopes of eventually getting a Power 5 job at a PWI. So that's why he left the HBCU and FAMU, where he's from, to eventually maybe take a running backs coaching position where he was getting like $100,000 to $150,000 more. That's what he's going to be getting this upcoming season, for the hopes of eventually becoming a head coach on a Power 5 PWI level. But the point I'm trying to make is, in my personal experience, on the middle school level, I was I was assistant coach this year. I was the head coach last year. Most years I've been a head coach. I'm not gonna lie. I'd much rather be the head coach and take a slight pay cut as opposed to being an assistant coach and getting more money. Now, I don't know about Willie Simmons' situation from a financial standpoint. I don't know what his financial situation is. Maybe he needed the extra money. In terms of Chip Kelly, maybe he feel Ohio State is more high profile than UCLA. And shout out to my brother Billy Bob. He kind of texted me this behind the scenes. He feels like Chip Kelly leaving UCLA, where he's the head coach, to be the offensive coordinator of Ohio State. He thinks that makes them the front runner to win the national championship.
And
I disagree with that.
Excuse me, with you saying that they're saying he's taking a pay cut of more than $4 million.
Stupid.
So he they say, as he's expected to take that pay cut, And as he made nearly 6 million at UCLA, the sources at ESPN says that, and in addition to Ohio State, he's gonna have to pay. The Ohio State will have to pay 1.5 million to buy him out.
To me, that's stupid. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he feel like he can't get UCLA over the hump. Maybe he feel like there's pressure. Maybe he's going to eventually get fired. Maybe they might have some kind of scandal or something behind the scenes. Maybe he just feel like he can't get the job done at UCLA. But I think on some level, see, in my instance, I would do the opposite of what Willie Simmons did. I would rather take a pay cut and be a head coach as opposed to getting a pay increase to move down in position to go from being the head coach to being a running backs coach. But in his instance, he the head coach. He gonna leave a head coaching position to be the offensive coordinator. And in addition to that, he taking a $4 million pay cut. Oh, ain't no way, bro. No effing way. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I won't be the man to call the shots. I won't be the man to make the decision, so on and so forth. So my brother Billy Bob that was basically saying that he think this makes Ohio State the front runner to win a national championship. I strongly disagree. I don't think Chip Kelly being the offensive coordinator puts them over the hump. I don't think it puts them in any better position. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was at the AD of a school, the fact that you showed that you left a head coaching position to be an OC, to me, if anything, I think it kind of shows weakness from my perspective. I don't know what his situation is behind the scenes, but to me, it kind of makes you seem like you really can't handle the pressure. I wouldn't even consider him to be a head coach at my school. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Any other thoughts about that, Ray? Okay, guys. So the big day is tomorrow once more. Who are you rooting for? What are your final thoughts? Let's start with you, coach. Uh who are you rooting for?
Well, last week Raymond and I talked about this. We kind of made our Super Bowl predictions. First, like I told him last week, all the teams I've been picking, essentially all the teams I've picked have lost, and I've been wrong like the vast majority of the time. So keeping in line with that, I want the Chiefs to win. I would like Raymond said, don't bet against Pat Mahomes. I'm picking the 49ers more so because I want the Chiefs to win. So I want the Chiefs to win, but so they don't win. So they don't lose. I'm picking the 49ers. I'm kind of, maybe it's a superstitious thing with me, but I honestly believe the Chiefs have a better team. I want the Chiefs to win, but I'm picking the 49ers because basically every team I pick, they've lost. So I'm going in a different direction. I'm picking the 49ers, but I want the Chiefs to win.
Okay, Ray.
I'm going with Pat Mahomes. This is technically a rematch, with Patrick Mahomes and the 49ers. I feel like it's going to play out the same. I'm just hoping it's a good game, but I'm looking for Pat Mahomes to be Pat Mahomes and get his third ring, for his hype and status to go up and stuff like that. Now I was just thinking to myself, man, I would love to see Patrick Mahomes get a bunch of rings so I could brag to like nieces, nephews, and cousins I have down the line and be like, yeah, I was alive when Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes won all their rings. Like how everybody used to do with me. Cause see, I was born. I know I'm dating myself. I don't care. I was born in '97. And like really the last year Michael Jordan was in his prime was in 1996. And like,
No. The 97-98 season, he was a dog.
but like I was like how old I was when I was like 98 in 98.
He was like one.
One. So I wasn't watching Michael Jordan. When I really got to the age where I started watching basketball, Michael Jordan was not playing. So I really never seen Michael Jordan, which is why if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you I feel like LeBron James is better than Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at least I got to witness Tom Brady and I'm witnessing Patrick Mahomes. So I can have some over the youngins in the future. Like, yeah, I wasn't alive when Patrick Mahomes won all the Super Bowls. But yeah, like I'm saying,
Ray
I
is a mess.
I got Patrick Mahomes, continuing to build his legacy against the 49ers, to put the 49ers up. And I got a friend who's a 49ers fan, and who's a 49ers fan, and I can't wait to just throw that at him, like, boy, Patrick Mahomes beat y'all again, you know. But yeah, I got Pat Mahomes.
Well, guys, to be truthfully honest with you right now, it really doesn't matter. I will root for the Chiefs, especially since, you know, our loved one lived in, in that neck of the woods. So so but hopefully, things go well tomorrow, and all of your predictions come to fruition as you would want. So, guys, what are your expectations for tomorrow? What do you plan on eating? What do you plan on seeing? Is there a commercial that you look forward to, guys? Let's start with you, Ray.
Oh no, nothing really.
Coach?
Same here. I kind of echo your same sentiments and thoughts. A friend, one of my brothers, he asked me behind the scenes, like, "Hey, are you excited about the game?" And I'm like, a little bit. He said he wasn't excited at all since the Ravens didn't win, and I'm like, I'm kind of the same way. Uh, Outside of Pat Mahomes being in it, like I really don't have a whole lot of excitement for this particular Super Bowl. I hope the Chiefs win, but I don't have the usual normal excitement for the Super Bowl. Uh, I'm not really looking forward to like eating anything in particular. I'm just looking forward to just relaxing, sitting down, and enjoying the game.
Because, guys, do you remember, when the commercial for the I think it was Budweiser or Bud Light, when it was
Yeah,
like, was I, and that's when that time frame came out, when it started for the Super Bowl.
yeah.
And that's how that started. So, that's what a lot of people look forward to for commercials. That's why I was asking, is there a commercial that you are looking forward to, for the Super Bowl, looking
Yeah,
forward to
yeah,
see?
that's an interesting point you bring up, Key, because like when we were younger, basically that was one of the highlights of the Super Bowl, like the commercials.
And the halftime show.
And the halftime show really didn't become a thing of prominence till later. This was kind of before you were born, Ray.
You about to refer to the Soul Train, some kind of.
Not Soul Train. This was In Living Color.
Yeah, yeah. I remember.
Like basically, like so many people switched over from the Super Bowl to Fox because at the time, Fox was a predominantly black network. Like Roland Martin did a
Wait,
video.
for real?
Yeah, oh no, in terms of the programming and the shows, yes. They
Oh,
used to have,
when you said Fox, my mind went to like.
yeah. Basically, like they had this show called South Central. They had this show called Rock. They had In Living Color. So in terms of the programming, like most of the shows on Fox were like black shows. So that's how they kind of built up their fan base. And then that particular year, there was no Super Bowl show at the time. So a lot of people switched over from the Super Bowl to Fox to watching Living Color with Keenan Ivory Wayans and Damon Wayans and David Allen Greer and Jim Carrey and Tommy Davidson. So after that year there, Fox said, hey, we can't have our fans switching over. I mean, not Fox, but the NFL said we can't have our fans switching over from the Super Bowl to another network to watch. So that's when they really start to amp up the halftime show. And then in addition to that, like Kay said, like they had a lot of real, like good commercials. And like she was saying, but the what's up, like one of the other content creators that I follow here on YouTube, his name is Flimlo Raps. And he went through the whole backstory behind like the what's up guys. Like they were actual real life friends. So, that was an excellent point, Kay. But you have to realize that was a different day, different age, different time, different era. Basically, the Super Bowl commercials, even though companies still pay a lot of money to get that advertisement, to get those views for the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl commercials aren't what they once were. And then in addition to that, with the rise of social media, there's other ways to to get your views and get accessibility as opposed to spending like X amount of million for just a 30-second commercial. So the Super Bowl commercials aren't as prominent as they once were, though.
And quick thing too. Man, did you know Flemlo went to Southern?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you go listen to his story, like he played he was on a Southern University football team. You're gonna have to go on his channel and find his story when he talk about like his own life story. He gonna tell you that he went to Southern. I was like, man, that's
Well,
crazy.
and the crazy thing about it, is interesting you bring that up because I have a friend of mine, a co-worker. Basically, he said that he used to work for him, and basically, he from like Cincinnati or whatever. He moved back home, this, that, and the third. So he told me that, like, yeah, they used to, work together and blah 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 blah. I used to work for him, blah blah blah. So yeah, so I didn't know he went to Southern though.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna have to go find a video and I'm gonna send it to you. But
All
yeah,
right.
he went to Southern. And another thing I want to add in about the commercials, uh, nowadays comedy is different, bro. Like so, I don't know. It's like it's like a thing with comedy. What things change. Like back in when I was kind of in middle school, when I shouldn't have been watching Adult Swim, watching Family Guy and stuff like that. Man, I ain't gonna lie, they had all kind of racist jokes about black people, Asian people, but it's like you would sit there, you wouldn't get offended. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but with me bringing that up, boy, you can't say no kind of jokes like that. That's the main reason why they canceled Dave Chappelle. Know what I'm saying? You can't say, and that's the gift about a
Well, I
comedian.
don't think that's why Dave Chappelle's show ended.
No, not his show. I'm
No,
talking about
he talking about recently with this cancel culture that we live in. We live in a more
Oh,
correct
okay.
world. Like he said, stuff that you would say in the 90s and the 2000s, you can't say in 2024.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Most
right.
definitely.
That's
Things
basically
are
what I was.
more sensitive now.
Right. And
And
and that's what I was saying about Dave Chappelle. And I was about to say that's a unique gift that comedians have. A comedian, they could take a sensitive subject and turn it into a joke. Like, can't know anybody take a sensitive subject and turn it into a joke. You know what I'm saying? But like, I feel like that's a gift that makes comedians comedians. But with that being said, that's why I like a lot of these commercials not really funny or intriguing to me because I feel like it's not real comedy. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just clever ways to advertise their product. If y'all understand what I'm trying to say.
yeah, yeah. And that's a very interesting point you brought up, Ray. And it kind of ties into what you said a couple of weeks ago. We live in a more PC world. And even with the sports, that's why sports are so soft in terms of like the NFL. You can't touch the quarterback. You can't even breathe on him. When guys running over the middle, you can't hit them too hard or have these vicious, savage shots that we would have in the 80s and 90s. Even in the NBA, you can't hand check. You can't form check. You can't do anything like that. The Pro Bowl is basically glorified flag football and 7-on-7. So you're right. We live in a more PC world. We live in a softer world. And, Raymond brought this up a few weeks back, and he kind of right in terms of the comedy aspect of it too. Just all around, just across the board, we live in a more PC world.
Well, okay, guys. Well, today,
Hey, hold on, real second, Kay. The
okay.
last comment we got. Shout out to the brother Billy Bob. I just was talking about how him and I was talking about the Chip Kelly situation behind the scenes. Shout out to the brother Billy Bob. But go to UK.
Well, guys, it really was a good show. What are your closing thoughts? How can people follow you? And what would you like to tell the people out there? Let's start with you, Ray.
All right, y'all go follow me on Instagram _King Ray _. Y'all go subscribe to me on the YouTube Ray Swank 225. I enjoyed the topics that we discussed today. The predictions that we gave, the insights that we gave. Looking forward to these boxing matches that's about to come up in these next couple of months. Hopefully, the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight sticks and it stays. That's something that I noticed with boxing. Boxers say they'll do a particular fight and then all of a sudden, like you'll find out that the fight off or something happened with the contracts that, what I'm saying, like that. But just excited, to see how the Super Bowl go, to see if our predictions was right. So but yeah, that's pretty much just happy, and glad we had a great show today. Glad that people who are watching, shout out to all our subscribers, our viewers, people in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I love it when y'all interact with us, continue to give us y'all input. Like I said, I don't want us to be like Undisputed or First Take, where it's just you just sit there and you watch, and even though when you watch those shows, you're gonna have an opinion, but you can't tell your opinion to Stephen A. Smith or Skip Bayless or Shannon Sharp or nobody. But you come watch Bayou Sports Talk, your opinion will be heard and will be put on the screen. So we appreciate y'all.
Well said, King Ray.
Go ahead, Coach.
All right. Well, first and foremost, for all my members of Jaguar Nation, uh, I wasn't able to upload part two of the National Signing Day. I did it in live stream the other day. I'm gonna do a video, do it in video format. If I can't get it later on today, then I'll probably upload it tomorrow. So look out for that. Part two of Southern University National Signing Day, where I talk about all the recruits they brought into Southern University, so on and so forth. So check that out here. In addition to that, go check out my brother Brent Fox on his channel, where he had some interesting takes about the NFL awards. I kind of touched on it earlier. The Kevin Stefanski Coach of the Year over D'Amico Ryans and Dan Campbell. He talked about Defensive Player of the Year, how Myles Garrett got it over, how he got it over T.J. Watt, so on and so forth. So evidently, the Cleveland Browns fan base, they did a lot of voting for those two particular individuals to win. But in terms of myself, you can find me at Coach 67 Sports TV on all social media platforms. Here on YouTube at Coach 67 Sports TV, on X, which is formerly known as Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, pretty much on all social media platforms. I also started a Facebook Coach 67 Sports TV group chat. So you'll catch me on Facebook, on X, which is formerly known as Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. However, my primary social media platform is here on YouTube, Coach 67 Sports TV. If you have not done so already, go check out my two Southern University top 5 videos. One top 5 running backs, another one top 5 quarterbacks. Looking at the comment section, like wide receiver going to be the next position group I'm going to break down. In addition to that, like I said, keep your eyes peeled for part 2 of that National Signing Day video. And like I said, once more, I'm going to reiterate that, I got to big up my brothers. Go check out my brother Brent Fox. Check out my brother Jared 11 Green. I'm going to be on his channel tonight for a special Super Bowl edition of the Southern Baller Show. But we appreciate everybody that came through, that showed some love. Shout out to the brother Jay Barr. He said we had a great show. We appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Jay Barr, Billy Bob, my brother Jared 11 Green, brother Jay Good, Relax and Calm Rain, Motivation to Be a Millionaire, Adrian Crook. Everybody that came through that showed support, showed love. We appreciate y'all to the highest. We appreciate all y'all kind words, all y'all motivation. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all support. Hopefully y'all have a blessed and safe Super Bowl weekend. Hopefully y'all have a blessed and safe Lundi Gras and Mardi Gras. We'll catch y'all next weekend at this same time. Y'all have a blessed, phenomenal weekend. Blessed, phenomenal Mardi Gras. Peace and blessings. Back to Kate.
Guys, please like, subscribe, follow. And if you have any comments, please put them in the comment section below. Any topics you would like us to cover. And our closing quote: in a growth mindset, challenges are exciting rather than threatening. So rather than thinking, oh, I'm going to reveal my weaknesses, you say, wow, here's a chance to grow. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye-bye.